So I just did a little short video talking about, what the status is of Ninjara, currently. And as I mentioned in the video, right now it seems that her status is that she's owned by Viacom, basically the same people that own the Ninja Turtles and everything. And that's because, as mentioned in the video that I did, as well as mentioned in another video, the Who is Ninjara video that the Turtles Nexus, I think, did. Basically, they mentioned that she, because she was created under the banner of TMNT when it was, being published, or one of its comics was being published by Archie Comics, the TMNT Adventures. That basically the people in charge of TMNT, not just Archie Comics, but mostly the people in charge of TMNT, had Steve Murphy and Chris Allen, I guess, sign some kind of contract or something like that to allow the people at allow basically those in charge of TMNT to retain all the rights to Ninjara. That's what they did. And because of that, when they were brought back on during the IDW run, during the early days or midpoint of the IDW run, they did like a tribute issue to the Archie style of adventures, in that storyline, if you will. And basically they brought Ninjara back for this one story that kind of stayed within continuity of the Archie series. And it was because of that, I think after they mentioned it, that being the Turtles Nexus channel, after they mentioned it, they also had mentioned that she is owned by Viacom. So the question is, obviously, what is stopping, Viacom, Nickelodeon, if you will, from bringing her in? And the answer is nothing, really. I mean, if they could do a hybrid design for Aeoplex, in her television debut in the 2012 CGI series, if they could do that for her, basically make her a hybrid design, and everything of both her comic book counterpart in IDW and Ninjara from Archie, if they could do that to kind of, I guess you could say, satisfy the fans of both, then what's stopping them from just full on bringing Ninjara in? If they're willing to basically, because they could do the same with Aeoplex from IDW. They could bring the IDW version of her in if they wanted to. And it would have made more, and honestly, it would have made just as much sense as the hybrid design version of her that they brought in that's based on both characters. But like I said, what's preventing them from bringing her in? Not just into, let's say, an animated series or an animated project down the line, or any kind of project, TMNT-wise, in the near future. What's preventing them? Nothing. Nothing's really preventing them. Because here's the thing. We've seen how they've reinvented a lot of iconic fan favorites to bring them back because fans wanted to see them again. We saw this with Mona Lisa in the CGI series. We are going to see it, I should say, with Venus. That's right, Venus de Milo from Next Mutation. We're going to see it in the IDW series upcoming. So, with that said, with the reinvention of the reimagining of Venus and what she's going to, and how she's going to be upon her debut, with the reinvention of Mona Lisa in the CGI series, amongst many others, again, the question is, what is preventing, Viacom, Nickelodeon from bringing in Ninjara for TMNT? Nothing. Nothing is really preventing them, and nothing is preventing IDW either. Because here's the thing, Nickelodeon was the ones that basically allowed for the more alien version of Venus de Milo, to be introduced as a reimagining of that character, and they kept her, relationship. They kept the romance, that she would have with Raphael in there. They brought it in and they kept it in there upon the other appearances she made. But here's the thing. They did that, and people accepted it. They loved it. They loved the idea that yes, but Mona Lisa was back. Not Venus, but Mona Lisa was back, even though it wasn't the Mona Lisa they were, accustomed to. They were happy to see her back and happy to see that relationship she had with Raphael was retained. Now, with that said, again, why can't they do it with Ninjara? Because, like I said, we go back to IDW, we see what they're doing with Venus. They could do the same with Ninjara. Ninjara could be reinvented, or not reinvented, but reimagined to be identical to what she is, or closely identical to what she is, but with a few differences. Like, if they want to, yes, they can make Ninjara a mutant this time, instead of just an anthropomorphic humanoid fox that came from an island of the same species. They could do that. They could do that. They could add that to her character to kind of reimagine her in a way that's identical to her original version, but has that to make her different. They can do that. Or if you want to keep her true to what she is, and you want to go down that path that they've been known to go down to a lot, and that's the alternate universe path, you could do that too. Either way would work, because honestly, if what the Turtles Nexus is saying is true, then there shouldn't be anything holding Nickelodeon back. There shouldn't be anything holding Viacom back from allowing the people that work on these series to bring the character in the near, as part of the team, as an ally, whatever, in the near future. There's nothing should be stopping them. Take a look at Karai. We all know about Karai from various different versions. When she was brought into the original TMNT cartoon, she was given a different name, but we knew it was Karai. They gave her a different name, different background, but I think anybody would know that was the version of Karai. When we saw her in the 2K3 series, that would basically be close to the definitive version of who Karai is. That was close to the definitive version. But when they brought her into the CGI series, not only did they make her younger, like they did with April and Casey, but they also made her into a mutant that could change from being human to being a snake. And then they added the story arc where she basically became a mindless snake for a while, till she was able to regain her identity, regain her conscience and her identity of who she is. So, if they can reinvent someone like Karai in that manner, or reimagining someone like Karai in that manner, then why not do the same with Ninjara? Why not find a way to reimagine her character that's identical to what fans know, but also make it fresh to where you have something in there that makes her different from the original version. I'm just saying, because again, I don't think there's nothing really that's preventing them from doing so. I don't see anything per se that's preventing them from doing so. But what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the fact that Nickelodeon, who's owned by Viacom, who owns the TMNT license, has yet to pull the trigger on bringing Ninjara in any future projects? Do you think there's anything holding them back, even though they own the rights to the characters, due to the contractual agreement that was signed by the original creators of her? Or do you think maybe they're just waiting for the right time to do it, or what? What are your thoughts? Do you think there's anything holding them back, or do you think they're just waiting for the right project What's your status on it? Let me know down below in the comments as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Check me out on my Teespring store. Super chats and super stickers are opening would be appreciated during the live chat at the premiere. Also, check me out at BW Roses on VENMO for content you can't get anywhere else except there, as well as on DeviantArt at BVW1979, BW Roses Discussions, all your favorite audio podcast platforms except for Pandora, as well as on Patreon at BW Roses. Support me there, and at Venmo at Brian-Warmer-2, and at Cash App at BW Roses 98. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. How do you feel about this? Comment below, like I said, and in the live chat. I got to get into work now, guys, and I'll talk to y'all later.